Алло?
Алло.
Вот, все отлично. Так, а куда мне надо?
Тебе на выход из города. Для начала выйти из замка.
А, мне в другую сторону.
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Eldaman and Sia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renin lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me. Not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
Мне дали рецепты.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Eldermen and Sea Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzalek even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense, enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Danans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion?
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
Что ж, сперва я зайду в Колизей еще.
Пробуешь пройти бои новичков?
Ну, возьмем самые первые бои. Посмотрим, что из них будет. Ну, естественно, попробовать убить большого жука в Калай. Вдруг за него что-то хорошее дадут. Опа, касцена.
Я
Опа.
потому что у тебя
Piece
версия.
of gear you got there.
Ты, кстати, вроде даже можешь их пройти на этом. Да, ты можешь,
Oh, you mean that thing's
по
badass?
идее.
I know a rare weapon when I see one.
Please excuse him. He's sort of honestly, Kirito. If you want to strike up a conversation.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
And I'm Asuna. Nice.
I'm Alphen, and this is Shion.
Kirito and Us, you two come here often?
Nope. This is our first time.
He was curious about the place, so we decided...
Curious. About training grounds?
I can see where he's coming from. They're a good place to test your strength without putting your neck on the line. So, were you able to get a good...
That was the plan, but honestly...
As far as training goes, Kirito prefers when...
You must be pretty confident in your abilities.
If that's how you feel, why don't you two square off against...
Would you be up for that?
Hold on, where's this coming from?
What's the harm? After all, we can still get stronger, right? And what better way than by sparring against other strong fighters like... Besides, if these two are as good as they say, then I want to see what they're made of.
That's the part you're really interested in. Fine. But this is just for training, okay? No fooling around. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. So...
How about it, Asuna? You want?
Why bother asking?
That obvious. Okay, you're on. You're...
No way. When we fight...
That's what I like to hear. See...
Did you used to come here when you were younger, Kisara?
You bet. See the dent in that column? That's from when my mace slipped out of my hand one time, just after I joined the guard. And that crack over there? That happened while I was practicing an art.
This is new information to me.
Да, ты нужно 25 для первого боя, ты справишься. У тебя, правда, средний уровень 22, но у тебя, в принципе, есть хиллера.
Есть хиллер.
Дахалим тоже может хилить.
Я убрал у него хил. У меня же Дахалим сейчас в основе.
А, ну окей. Объективно. Кстати, начальный уровень требует 30 уровень этого персонажа, типа он начальный будет прийти.
А, он тоже... А, два мечника, ладно, звучит.
Ну, она чисти маг. Которая Асуна.
Hey, is he always this eager when it comes to fighting?
That's how Kirito is.
Not true.
Power surges through me.
Если ты включишь фокус исцеления, у тебя есть захватить еще персонаж с хилом в виде Кисару, который есть вверх по земле, который хилит вокруг тиммейтов. Ты не справишься. Ты просто не поднимешь его контролить Кисару, у тебя будет больше хила.
Я еще не привык к геймплею Дахалима. Ох, ни хрена себе.
Его ульта. Ну, у нее, точнее, одна из.
Надо запомнить, что R-ка у меня это...
Damn, I can't find an opening with these two.
I know. They're completely in sync with one another.
Like each of them already knows what move the other will make.
Yeah, but our teamwork's nothing to sneeze at either.
Так. А, предметы нельзя использовать. Звучит как план. Ловить. Я поймал.
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
I'll bring you back.
Not today.
I'll end you.
Not bad. Not bad at all. But I'm still in this to win!
I can't
Seriously? Two swords at the same time? I'm not about to back down from the fight.
Good. Because I'm not planning to hold back. Not so fast.
I'll have this with my own hands! Watch it, they mean business! Damn! They're targeting you! Pull back!
Thanks! I owe you! Rip and tear!
Healing circle!
This I owe you one. Take this!
Here I go!
Another incantation ruined! Elusive deity! Turbo demon fang! Tornado drive! This one! Take this! He stopped it? Damn!
I'm on it! Not on my watch!
Thanks!
Next time, don't get cocky. Here they come.
I can't believe they managed to stop that.
Among other things. Don't tell me you're giving up already.
No way! I'll keep fighting for as long as it takes. Elusive deity! Time to get serious! You're mine! You pin!
Так. Минус Дахалим. Здесь пойдет Кисара.
I'll keep going as long as it takes.
Don't finish! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Time to shine! Freeze laser!
You're mine! You're
Ты, в
finished!
принципе, рано или поздно тоже какую-то если ты откроешь себе ульти на Альфина новую. Не забывай, что отмена билд Ринву все равно немного дамажит.
Don't put your luck with them, kitty!
Я не успеваю сменить.
You're finished! Ready for this?
Tiger
Looks like
blade!
you're pulling out all the stuff.
Stay sharp, Rob. Don't do anything reckless.
Swap it! Burning sun! Hit! Big power the captain!
Here I go!
Last one! Right back at you! Don't go overboard!
I can still fight! Here I go!
Да, его ульта это довольно душно. Именно тренировка персонажа на вроде раз в 2 реальных часа можно приходить и забирать интересы из нее. Просто этих тренировок в условии. У Альфа не может бить, пока он пылающим мечом не застанет. Ты, по идее, не можешь дамажить его, пока ты не рутишь него без своей билды. Он по единице получать урон.
Instinct sharpened! Ah! Does it hurt? Beckons into elusive deity! Out the earth throbs in pain. Can't get out of this! Catapult!
Да.
Begin! Beckons into everlasting...
Я запомню, что арка у меня. Это скилл.
Deity! Begin! How's this? I'll face you. Not so fast! Can you take it? Does it hurt?
И да, врачующиеся враги есть, например, этот только так отпрыгивал.
Elusive deity! Catapult! Now it's my turn! Can you take it? You're mine! It's time! Elusive deity! Can you take it? No further! Begin! Begin! Take this! Can you take it? Not so fast! Beckons into everlasting darkness! Negative gate!
Не, ну эта сфера достаточно болезненная.
Elusive deity! I'll face you! Does it hurt? Elusive deity! Beckons into everlasting darkness! Negative gate! Catapult! Beckons into everlasting...
Тихо.
Elusive deity! Tornado drive! I'll face you! Elusive deity! Ha! You're mine! Can you take it? Prepare to be sealed! Can you take it? Beckons into everlasting darkness!
Ну, давай, держи.
No arts of being interrupted! Begin! Can you take it? Beckons into into ever... Elusive deity, begin! Catapult! Begin! Beckon into everlasting darkness. Negative gate! Catapult!
Ох ты ж, здрасте.
Это твой последний.
To be the best motivation.
Давай, вдя в него ульту.
It's in your hand.
Ну, тренировать его роты, конечно, решение правильное, но...
I'll face you. Have this. Elusive deity. Ha. Tornado drive. Forgive me. Have this. Tempt. Ha. Have this. Tempt. Bestow thy mystic mercy. Fairy circle. Tempt. Begin. So you clamor for my true power? Tempt. Behold. The
Ну, сейчас его возовуть, то народ не получится. Ну, ладно.
tectonic vision.
У меня все равно обилки не было. Зря ульта потратилась.
Так ульту можно дать почти, когда она полностью просто закончилась. А бьюка то есть так, что он сильный урон. Только побежай, дай в него буквально 2 бури, дать обилку, и пока кастуется твоя обилка, зажать кнопки, дать ульту. Ну ладно. Как я доходим?
Ну, учитывая то, что я все же убедился, еще по лоуду тут иногда вороты, по крайней мере, лично у меня страдают.
У него сферки, которые упрощают идеальные ворота до Халима. И плюс сами ворота довольно сложная фигня в этой игре. У меня не получается, но у меня новый игра плюс, так что я думаю, мы меня вообще это не учитывать сейчас. Ну да, кстати, твоя активная билка в воздухе добавит больше, чего ты сделаешь, дополнительный такой удар.
Ну, знаешь, Дахали мне, в принципе, нравится. Побольше бы, опять же, очков действия. Вообще комбинить можно жестоко.
Они у него спокойно увеличиваются, там тоже есть куча перков на это.
Вот что, это просто... Дал удар, подброс, как там его, и просто закомбинил беднягу.
Это неплохо, но без пожитковой руки. Правильно выбор делать.
Блин, мне надо уворот в воздухе, а вроде у Дахалима не было ближайшего такого.
У него он будет, но я не помню именно когда, на самом деле.
Но сейчас его у меня не было, поэтому у меня с этим немножко ровно.
Да, сейчас он тебя еще не открыт.
На простраховке? Давай, подходи, мой друг. Пыльнешь? Мне нравится, что ты фиолетовым светишься. Совсем?
Фиолетовым это потому, что у тебя урон проклятия есть. Ну... Урон тьмы, точнее.
Интересно, от чего учить то, что у меня просто сейчас, грубо говоря, все физическое?
Бок уклонения, когда делает подброс, он дамажит темной магией. Там темный удар. Да. Оно может прокнуться. С каким-то маленьким шансом из-за того, что это всего лишь такая тычка, но прокнуться может.
На Дахалим это значит не дает ничего. Клево.
Дает. Так это тренировка, а не начальный уровень сложности, говорю уже. Тренировку можно каждые 2 часа проходить за ресы бесплатно. Ну ладно, хочешь.
Знаешь, я хотя бы привык к геймплею Дахалима.
Ну, справедливо.
Я не по... Блин. Активка Дахалима это то же самое, что и способность вот этих вот чертов летающих камней.
Есть обилка такая же, как у Дахалима. Только у Дахалима она озвучит, не давая делать рывки. У Дахалима она немного по-другому.
Побил.
И ему ультадик нравится.
Знаешь, он просто такой ура по земле.
Мне окончание с глазиком нравится, кристаллизации тоже.
Так, брысь. О, нет. Я уж сам наезд нажимаю. Так, вас что тут как-то слишком много. Так, тихо. Чё вы орёте?
Но они не очень опасны. У них хочет бесполезного удара, и с таким рядом не стоять мне вообще сильно задамажат с огнитами. Скоро легко двигаться. Тем же самым просто прыжком.
Начинается. Титанический, блин, мухи. Не, брысь, ребят.
Он тебя еще кучу увидеть не сможет. Я верю.
Я знаю, но что ты... Интересно, есть то же самое, как у Ринвелл с ускорением касты?
Да.
Ну, клево.
У меня доходил в мага, я же это уже говорил.
А, ну да. То есть тебе второй хиллер не нужен, но ты решил себе второго мага, да?
Ну как, я играю до ходи, пока началась жопа, я отдаю его боту, бот все еще может вязать его все бьюти, которых в списке. Может вязать вообще все бьюти на вторую галочку, помнишь?
Да, все.
То есть я тупо перехожу на альфа, либо на лоу, и дохолю хилит, и дальше кастует маги. А если надо за него пододжить, его давит, я прихожу за него, доджу, и дальше кастую маги или дульки. Короче, он у меня такой. В моих руках маг, в руках бота саппорт.
Я маг, но могу ебать.
Ну знаешь, я отдаю ее саппорту только тогда, когда Шион либо мертвый, чтобы у меня бот взял его бьюти резнув Шион. Либо я отдаю боту, когда Шион при смерти, чтобы он похилил Шион. Это большей частью он именно маг, а не саппорт. Хотя ладно, у меня в списке его билок есть 2 удара посохом. И то потому, что я дошел до реликвии, который второй список обилок открывает. Так-то у меня первая линия тупо засрана. Заклинаниями. У тебя, кстати, уже есть заклинания, по идее. Потому что ты зародился. У тебя всплеск воды должен быть и тяжесть воздуха, который заклинание уже должно быть.
Посмотрю. Сейчас обычно бывает.
Ну там не всплеск воды, там какое-то заклинание с уроном воды, не помню точно название. Красиво.
Ну и под завершалочку. Я там даже мухи не увидел.
Она не дожила, потому что...
Нет, она дожила, она просто оказалась там. Твою ж!
А вот это вроде последняя пачка, если я правильно помню. У тебя еще 200 кило, не бойся. Ты сможешь, я к тебе верю.
Отбрысь, давай договоримся. Я вас понял, они мне не дадут нормально стрелять.
Я, кстати, скину свою любимую музыкальную тему Геутидира, она устраивает прямо лежит.
А?
Я, короче, скину свою любимую музыкальную тему Геутидира. Вот там послушай, она укает.
Я как писал, слушаю. Да, ладно. Мне больше понравилось вот там как раз нациста.
Я ее еще не слышал, на самом деле. Я его не пикал.
А там тема идет не за героя, а против.
Но я знаю. Я ее либо не запомнил, либо мне не попадалось, потому что я ее вообще не помню.
Сейчас было. То, что противников много, я... Ну как? Это не как вот эти мухи, на которых ты еле набиваешь, потому что они... Это достаточно большие местами немобильные противники.
Еле-еле набиваешь что?
Не еле-еле, а достаточно быстренько набиваю способность.
У тебя ульта набивается, когда тебя бьют больше всего. Точнее, вот эту вот форму. Но либо когда ты дома, ты получишь ролл, когда получишь ролл, он набивается сильнее. Вот Почему у тебя так просто...
Что?
Я половину инструмента пропускаю, потому что не понимаю, как называть, чтобы оно прожалось. Хотя я могу по игре плюсы должен-то как бы уметь. Почему у тебя это всегда получается?
Ну, как бы зажимать две кнопки.
Ой, удивило, я писал, не читал, я так же делаю. Но игре насрать. Что за ирония?
Не знаю. Катись к черту. Вкусно.
Так, он вздохли, вот хорошо, можно через Шон. Тоже взять одну хилобилку и все.
У меня что он не дамажит от слова совсем.
Ну... А и оружие получше, и все нормально будет.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me.
Я забыл поменять заклинание вот это. У меня сейчас хил стоит на яшке.
Ну, бывает. Ты можешь бою поменять вроде. Или можно прям бою поменять.
Блин, знаешь, после арены как-то тяжело ощущать свой урон. Точнее, его присутствие.
Mahogs.
Так, все, темная сфера. Я не знаю, зачем мне темная сфера, вдруг пригодится.
That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
После Геншина не могу вспомнить, привыкнуть, что... как там его? На Е сбор. А не на F. Когда играешь в разные игры. Точнее, игры с разным управлением. Чё там Альфа устраивает?
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Your blade moves like silk. I just let my instincts take over. How fascinating.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
More
А,
pummel.
ладно.
Demon's Descent! Flashing bang!
Я хочу посмотреть на ультимейт за Халиму. Неинтересно взаимодействие.
Easy peasy, huh, Hoodle?
Как там его?
Там вроде 4 вариации.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
Исара, Ринвелл, Лоу и Альфин.
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
А шо он забыли?
А, нет, у него Шон тоже есть. У него
У него
со всеми
должно, по идее,
вариациями.
быть со всеми, как у всех.
У него со всеми.
А, ну да, я Сари со всеми видел. Так,
У
облик
всех,
еще
у всех со всеми, у всех со всеми, в принципе.
Что?
Если
Хвостик
так подумать.
демона, простите, что? Лол.
Да, Рейли, у каждой, все со всеми могут быть, что я об этом даже не задумывался.
Допустим. Почему нет? Почему, собственно, нет?
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
Do you require a hand?
In a bind? Test it! First aid! Can we take it? Pierce evil!
Elusive deity! Not today!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Healing circle!
I really owe you one.
Tornado drive! Nothing
Не-не-не.
None shall escape my judgment.
Turn the tables on us.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back. Finish this!
Blow them away!
Запинали! Палкой ногой, рукой, палкой ногой, ногой, палкой
We
ногой.
managed to pull through.
Пам, пам, пам. Ух ты, сова, картофель, а там какое-то взаимодействие. Такое акцентирование внимания на рыбе.
I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Now, where might those fish be?
Кисара, значит, у нас
You're
рыбу
still not done
лов.
fishing yet? Boring.
You need patience to fish. Looks like I lost it.
Так.
Yeah. Nothing's biting.
Это я тупой.
Можешь приманивать кьюшкой, когда оно в кружке зеленом, либо пробелом, либо ешкой. Разные рыбы любят разное. Пробел пробуй. Либо кьюшка. Во, ты на пробел.
Alright.
Я понял.
Нужен надо, тут надо.
Anybody could reel in that.
That went pretty well.
Рыбалка воплощение чего-то странного.
Alright.
Ты чё, такая музыка, блин?
That's a bit of a letdown.
Could have been worse. At least you caught something.
Звучит как план.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good Kisara. I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when...
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
У меня такой резонный вопрос, откуда мы удочку достали?
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us. Okay!
Так. Ну, нам дали умение. Я этому доволен. Что я хотел взять так? Давайте так. Второй круг. Отлично. До Халима мне нужен рывок. Потому что без рывка в воздухе милишникам жить очень сложно. Что случилось? Какого дракона?
I'm always amazed what healing arts
К заданию что?
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
То есть ничего не обращайте. Что
Он дал тебе щит, дети сэр.
Ну да. Тихо.
We should be able to
Ты взял тот, который хуже.
Разве?
У тебя экипирован был самый лучший.
Я просто, когда их проходил до Халима. Опустим этот момент. Мотивейшн пафоса.
Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it.
Какой-то мем-момент. По-другому не опишешь вот данную ситуацию. Мем-момент.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally.
Усиление блока? Что?
Усиление атаки большое.
Вижу. Я тупой. Ну, давайте до Халима.
This shall suffice. Please, everyone, have as much as you like.
Ох.
Давай до Халима.
Я тоже хочу побольше узнать о Халиме.
You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. We'd best get ready for tomorrow. Shall we get moving?
Букеты.
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm
Кстати,
glad at
хочешь
least
рофл?
one of us understands him.
Через диалогов 8 ты узнаешь, что Лоу не умеет читать. В плане через 8 диалогов с Лоу.
I shall do what I can
Короче, не
within my
скоро.
modest means to help.
Оно не особо умное, но оно умеет хорошо бить его.
Это заметно,
Dolan's
что
fighting
Лоу
style is-
местами... Да.
What's the word I'm looking for? Subdued? No.
Do you mean elegant, perhaps?
Yeah, that's the word. For better or worse, you can definitely tell he's cut from posh Renin cloth.
And he's not just skilled with the staff either. He can also use astral arts, including healing ones. I can see how he made it to the position of a lord.
You flatter me, but my fighting techniques merely come from a style that aims to conserve energy by minimizing body movement.
Is that why you wait until the last second before you dodge attacks? To avoid unnecessary movements?
No, I do that to sharpen my senses. I find that doing so is an effective means of drawing out my innermost strength.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you look stronger and strike out with your rod more after you dodge attacks. Guess that's why.
Still, it's a risk. Don't you ever worry you'll dodge at the wrong moment?
Then, it'll be just as well.
Huh?
It's nothing. Let us continue. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Я вижу грифонов. Я вижу руду. Я вижу врагов, которые решили меня побить. Они 27 уровня. Паник! Интересно, у Халима будет вот этот прием?
Ой. Камушками сверху бить?
Ну, не... Нет, не с камушками, вот этот рывок мега.
Ну, что-то наподобие будет. Максимально наподобие. Хорошо, ладно, вроде не будет. По крайней мере, у меня его нет еще. Есть что-то похожее, но не оно.
Я точно верю, что камушек не будет, потому что одному один масштабный ультимейт это персонаж, да? Ну так это было.
Рофл в том, что для того, чтобы дать второй ультимейт, надо сделать комбо из 5 приемов. Только потом зажать.
Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danon slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
Ох уж это да. Ух ты ж, здрасте, ребят.
Тебе сейчас вторую линию объем-то тут.
All right.
Короче, еще такой артефактор дает тебе вторую линию объем.
Ну да, мне сейчас скажут про сильно такие климов, с которым я и так разобрался. Стоямба.
In a bind? Begin! I'll tear you apart! Elusive deity! Now or never. Negative gate! Elusive deity can't get out of this! Rising Phoenix!
Lunar corruption!
Begin!
Lunar blast!
Elusive deity! Tornado drive!
All right, that does it!
Tempest!
There!
Kisara! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life! Take this! Begin!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Elusive deity! Can you take it? Begin!
Nothing gets by me!
Here we go! You're mine!
Hey! Ha! Blow them away!
Мне нравится этот дуэт монаха и монаха.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dan in history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
Так, теперь можно использовать 6 запущенных между нажмите на экране. Нажмите Ctrl. О, Дохалим. За что? Увеличивает время действия.
Смотри, вот открой карту, я тебе сразу скажу. То, что ведет в гору, там high-level контент, вот этот хрень. Там high-level контент, который после финального босса приходится. Финального босса Орда Воды. Так что в гору можно не идти. Там просто пока проход будет закрыт камнями.
Там просто будет отсутствие твоего эпова.
Ну, это тоже.
О!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Eat dirt! Tornado drive! Ready? As the airborne scoundrel! When did I
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
begin? You're mine! Elusive
Corruption, get toasty.
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Take this! I'm on it! Already on it! To everlasting darkness! Negative gate! Back to everlasting darkness! Negative gate! Be still! Rising darkness!
Hands in the sky.
Eagle side! Rising deity! I'm on it! Begin!
Do it.
Run well!
Demon's descent.
Я во времени нажимаю на пиздец. И да нас, darkness. Так. Дохалим меня вдохновил. Я уже знаю, что можно на благополучно спиздить. Кто знает, кто поймет, а кто не знает, соболезную. Пока буду. О! Моё!
А, это забей, у меня после Орда Воды 130 тысяч валяется. Ну как валяется-то? Вообще расходники дорогие, быстро потратить, но пока что валяется. Ты же будешь игру после Орда Воды дальше проходить?
Лорд Воды, что ли, финальный?
Ну, я тебе скажу так, там еще куча секретов после окончания игры.
Нет, я хочу спросить, то есть Лорд Воды финальный, что ли?
Относительно.
No sooner said than done.
Ну, сейчас ты будешь просто забить сюжетку дальше проходить?
Ну, скорее всего.
Я вообще вчера нашел для себя на той игре сраного дракона, у которого уникальный бой. И который из 73-го уровня был.
Ты про квест, который с...
Не, на горе, который после Орда Воды, ты о нем даже начать не можешь. Я просто раньше тряпочка, которую он пришлось бегать и отбежаться на 2 часа. Потому что из того боя избирать, а сейвов не было. Каждый там просто добивание смутил друг другого. А смотри, когда на вроде появится хрень, нажми Ctrl-1. И Дохалим вместе с Римбо добьет. Не, Вова, Ctrl-1.
Вау!
Согласен, красиво.
А, я еще так и не воспользовался второй линейкой из приемов. Я нахрена ее распределял?
Ну, хотя, в принципе, основные геймплейные механики уже
so
есть.
hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blistered.
Так, я опять путаю. Тап не меню, меню это escape. О, вот это медаль. Теперь у меня будет больше возможностей проделать
That's mountain
комбинации.
hiking for you.
Сначала я сворую все, что здесь есть. Было ваше, стало наше.
Летающая булочка.
А, через зажатие Ctrl, ладно.
Ну да, ты меня список убил. Что думал?
Там вроде написано было G.
G это настройка списка. Там же было написано использование через Ctrl-R-E. Там же написано было. Ну, шара еще прикольная. Я здесь просто пробую потом. Получается, Ctrl-2 будет.
Хотя бы хоть посмотреть, что за прием. Полетел. Уи! Нет, ну так-то у нас есть два. У нас так-то есть два мага. Один маг недоучен, а другой научен. Что ж.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
I'm like bait. Negative gate. Into everlasting darkness. Negative gate. Burn. Into the abyssal deep. Clear from the path. Here I come. There. The enemy feels hard too.
We'll soon see about that. Do it. Get toasty.
Burn strike.
Right. Next one.
Already up. Eat tornado drive. Sword alpha. Cutting the left.
Not on my watch.
Finish it.
Ctrl-2.
Law.
А, почему? Ладно.
And I'll stop your life.
A freezing storm.
Доходил, решил не участвовать в этот раз.
Negative gate.
Do it.
А, ладно. Спасибо.
Ну бывает. У тебя еще будут двоих, чтобы успеть.
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
А, ладно, сначала сломаем лицо.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Лицо верните!
I couldn't make it in time. Leave the agile one to me. Come and face you.
I never miss.
Come on, ignite. Elusive deity. Behold, the earth's pulse. Tectonic vision.
I'll bring you back from death to bit.
Resonate with the earth. Give me super.
Ай! Что? Кого? Однако...
Напугали хиллера.
Вы напугали деда.
I'll trip it up.
Так, у меня на...
Mystic mercy.
I'll bring you back from death to bit. Art expert coming through. Searing flame. Reload.
Elusive deity. Not so fast anymore with the all burn out.
Хотя полностью я не помню, что пещеру полностью пройти.
You should have messed with me. I tear you apart. I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Searing flame.
We got the... Elusive deity! Just have to make sure we keep it. Don't worry, cause laws on. Into everlasting dark. Negative gate.
Но при этом мне хватило, в принципе, сил это пройти.
I felt better, that's for sure.
Не советую потом сворачивать вниз по лестнице, там будет целая пещера.
I found some equipment.
Что? Кого? Что ж, это получается, скорее всего, на доходе. Да, стоит запомнить просто по внешности. Кстати, да, знаки. Вот у меня есть. Опал. Ну, просто хотя бы, чтобы пожить.
Let me take a look at it.
Слушай. Я не жив, не мертв.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
Ну да.
Короче, скажу так, тебе вниз спускаться никуда не нужно. Ты там застрянешь, и тебя сканет 60 уровень. Тут и 60 мозг не работает. 26.
Восстановиться. Где-то был еще яблочный. Очень жалею. Все не побито.
What were people even thinking back?
Что ж, попробуем.
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me. Burn in hell! Elusive deity in a bind. You're mine.
Where are you going?
Soaring alpha. Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade. See that?
That training's paying off.
Negative gate. Rising warper. Smash you. Into everlasting darkness. Negative gate. I'm surrounded. The abyssal deep. Clear for us.
These little ones are hardly worth our time. Cut them apart here.
Думал, что скажу, но не слишком быстро умирают от твоего урона.
Разница в 3 уровня, но я просто не даю им жить. Вот. Да, разница в 3-4 уровня.
Туда не надо было, там спуска нет. Там тебя вообще унесет. Там ты чего 27 уровня.
This one's got your name on it.
A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
И Сара прикольный так, ну ладно.
О, хотите сказать, что это слабость Темный?
Get toasty.
Может переказать на 4, то я куплю. Урон есть? Есть. Проблемы есть? Да вроде нет.
Look sharp. Lightning tiger blade.
Так, мне сюда не надо.
Roll or what?
Ты как бы можешь, ты даже в теории можешь там пройти, но там куча врагов 27 уровня. То ты как бы пройдешь, но мне кажется, ты потратишь кучу хилок и туда и т.п.
Лучше прийти с более большим количеством запасов сила.
Я честно так вот прямо, да.
Сила, ну, как минимум, чуть-чуть побольше.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Да, вот это вот как говорил. Как же пророк, вот у меня вот этот открылся, который делает игры без нуля.
Чё я делал? Вертолетик.
This one's got your name on it.
A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
Another incantation ruined.
Make of the abyssal deep clear for us a path. Not so fast. Begin. The everlasting darkness. Negative gate.
Our arts are being interrupted.
I'll face you. You got the advantage.
Good. Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry. Log alternate with the earth. Stalagmite. Bestow thy mystic mercy. There's always room for improvement.
Да, что туда?
Ну да, другого прохода-то и нету. Уи! Я вижу птиц. Надеюсь, они меня не видят.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term. But you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does. Which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
За это лицо.
What is it?
Что ж.
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my resresponsibilities.
Просто мой маг Дахалим.
I'm
Сидит,
sure no one doubts
сомневаться.
that. Listen, guys, if
Ну
we're
знаешь,
traveling together, we should
то ему это
probably
не
at least
относится,
try
а
to
это
make
прям
an
про
effort to
меня.
get to know one another, don't you think?
Про меня
I
тоже, у
wouldn't
меня
get your
маг, говорю
expectations
же.
too high in that regard.
Как бы он говорит, не
Believe it or not,
отсиживаться за
sometimes I'm
спинами.
not sure I even know myself all that well.
Да, Дахалим еще пока что немного суровый с вами, потому что он только присоединился.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly.
You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Ох уж этот Дахалим.
Все равны. Я считаю вас равными с Ринианом и Динианом. Правда, те, которые жили в моем королевстве, умнее, чем вы. То есть вы тупые. Но не специально.
Ну, местами по факту.
Кстати, знаешь, кто такой крыса?
Это Твич.
Это лорд воды.
Hey,
Ну, по факту.
stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahagzar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Еще, блин, шоун. Сейчас за шоункой бегать.
Слишком долгая загрузка для диалога, не находишь?
Ну, это и далеко не диалог.
Ладно, я спалился.
Здравствуй!
Been looking for
Я
you.
тебя искал.
Me? Why?
Это либо один из лордов. Ну это точно мудак, во-первых.
He's tough.
Who are you? Said you were looking for me. Why? Beautiful, precious life. What the? That is all I desire.
Таинственный мечник.
Then why are we fighting?
Can't get out of this!
Ты подумаешь. Дело в том, что тебе не зря не дали тут хила перед ним. Ну хотя ладно, свяжу тебя, все восстановили, просто в катсцене, чтобы не спойлерить тебе босса. Вопрос в том, что ты его не выиграешь. Надо снести ему вроде половину хп, как Кисаре. А потом он будет в своем отряде, как Кисара. В кубочках нет.
Его нет как его я принял. Я вот это вот чувствую.
Да, его нет нормально.
Он будет как Зефир?
Да я пошутил, он не присоединится к твоей команде. Ты на курсном плохо то есть нести плюс-минус. Просто говорю, что не стоит вам бить, если ты не сможешь его убить в первой попытке. Достаточно просто его посовидовали с ним. Ну, ладно, вру, может надо просто пожить минуту-две. Я не знаю на самом деле, я его все время бил и потом началось как цель. То ли нужно просто прожить, то ли снести ему хп, я сам не уверен. Потому что когда пытаешься жить, ты его дамажишь как раз таки.
Behold, the Earth pulse. Tectonic fission.
В этой жизни я ненавижу всего лишь две вещи. Внезапных гостей и внезапных гостей, которые хотят меня убить. Точнее, незваных гостей, во. Ну и не... Захиляться. А.
Весело, блин.
Motivations. Не знаю, я в этом вижу только... Ему вообще достать! Как-то вообще тут не часто.
Is that all that you've got? Very well, then die.
Они оба связаны.
A wretch like you.
Скорее всего.
Шоу на самом деле сделал больше всех. Давай умереть ГГ и оставил ему сраный шрам.
Wake up, please.
Alfin?
Shion.
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I.
Какая сложность?
У меня обычная.
Я просто рисую. Окей.
It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
Хватит бегать.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Ай. Вообще, я не удивлен, что этот мудачило появился. Но только в игре он выглядит совсем не так, как... Как там его?
В опенинге.
В опенинге. В опенинге он более какой-то... Темный? Но это точно ренянец, да?
Ну слушай, в опенинге он и водный меч сразу тут юзал.
Я думаю, это просто меч из концентрированной тьмы.
Не, он лорд воды. Это еще по опенингу было понятно. Он тебя водой да убил там.
Я думаю, это какая-то концентрированная тьма. Ну ладно, в принципе, справедливо. То, что факт того, что он лорд...
Почему тьма синяя должна быть тогда? Почему, по-твоему, концентрированная тьма синяя?
Да.
Справедливо.
Может вопрос, а что все разъебано?
Yes, this is Nias,
О,
the
знаешь.
capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, This doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened.
Слишком много акцентов на маске, на шипах и на лорде воды в том моменте.
This is horrible.
Is there truly?
Я, наверное, сделаю сохранение и пойду. А завтра попытаюсь смонтировать видосик. Так а какой скрин брать под битву с...
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened.
Испытание Халима.
Halim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shion has got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Каждый тут с приколом. Я валяюсь. Каждый тут с приколом.
Разве это плохо?
Нет, просто я не умею заодеваться. Лол с приколом, Декалин с приколом. Знаешь, мне кажется, тут Кисара самая плюс-минус адекватная. Наверное.
В принципе, так и есть.
Как там в одном обзоре говорилось, она мать.